The movie begins in Los Angeles, where a young man tries to buy some white powder but gets tricked by a street gang. They give him a bag of sugar and laugh at him, saying it's better for his health. Then they pin him down, pour gasoline over him and throw a match that sets him on fire. Soon he's taken to the hospital, where the doctor tells his wife and little daughter that his condition is critical, but he may recover in about 2 months if they can pay because their insurance has expired. When the doctor asks if any relatives can help, the wife says no, but she hears her husband calling for his younger brother in his sleep. Meanwhile, in North Africa, Leon is serving as a soldier in the French Foreign Legion when he receives a letter about what happened to his brother. Furious that his sister-in-law has been trying to contact him for 2 weeks and no one has told him, Leon goes to his commanding officer and asks for permission to leave. The officer coldly says they're in a war zone and have no time for family feelings, reminding Leon that he left his family when he joined the Legion. When Leon refuses to give up, the officer punishes him with 2 weeks of labor and warns him not to turn his final 6 months into 6 years. But Leon talks back and gets thrown into a cell. The soldiers try to beat him into submission, but Leon refuses to be humiliated and takes them down with his superior fighting skills. He jumps into a vehicle and crashes out of the base to reach his brother, while the men in the camp try everything to stop him. As night falls, the soldiers chasing him report that they lost him because he abandoned the vehicle and continued on foot. The commander thinks Leon can't survive the desert, yet Leon keeps dragging himself through the sand until he finally reaches the coast. Since soldiers are still searching the port, he hides from them and gets work shoveling coal on a ship, only so he can reach his brother's city. When the higher command learns Leon still hasn't been found, they want to alert the Americans and watch him when he reaches his family. However, the officer Leon insulted treats him like a traitor and wants him executed, so he asks to send 2 elite soldiers to bring him back. Day after day, Leon works on the ship, believing he's going to Los Angeles, but he discovers the ship has reached New York instead. Angry that the captain lied to him, Leon hits the man, jumps into the water and swims ashore, arriving in a city where he has no papers, no money and no idea how to keep going. Leon tries to call his brother's wife from a payphone, but he doesn't even have enough money for the call. Then he hears noise under a bridge and finds 2 men fighting while a crowd bets on the match. The fight is rough and simple, and the organizer John pays the winner before asking who wants the next round. Leon steps forward, causing everyone to laugh because he looks like a nobody, yet they still let him face a strong, violent fighter. Most people bet against Leon, while John puts money on him because he senses something different. As soon as the fight begins, the opponent tries every kind of attack, but Leon blocks and dodges with ease. He counters hard and shocks the crowd because the other man can't even touch him. Leon turns the man into a punching bag and beats him until he collapses bloody on the ground, winning his first fight in the city. John gives him the winnings, since his bet paid off, and Leon uses the money to try calling his sister-in-law again. The number no longer works, probably because she changed it, so Leon eats with John and says he needs to get to Los Angeles. John makes him pay for the meal first, then promises to help after meeting some people who can make them more money. He takes Leon to an underground garage where illegal fights are held for rich spectators, and introduces him to Sonia, the businesswoman running the matches. Sonia agrees to test him, and in front of them a brutal fighter destroys his opponent before coming over to show his loyalty to her. Leon hates the atmosphere but joins anyway, and Sonia notices something special about him, so she places a big bet on Leon instead of her own favorite fighter. The man insults Leon in front of everyone, but Leon ignores him until the match starts, then drops him with 1 clean strike and leaves the room silent. A rich man mocks Leon and says even he could beat him, so Leon grabs him and invites him to try. The man panics. John quickly calms things down, and afterward Leon and John ride with Sonia and her bodyguard. Sonia warns Leon not to insult her sponsors, then asks why he keeps talking about Los Angeles when she already has another bigger fight arranged for next week. Leon refuses and says he only fought today for his family, and he won't do it again. He gets out of the car, but Sonia gives John her private number and tells him to convince Leon. John follows Leon and keeps pushing him to fight because they can make serious money. Leon shows the cash he just won and says he'll pay more if John gets him to Los Angeles, but John tells him to hide it because the streets are full of thieves. Right then, a gang appears and tries to rob Leon. When they attack, Leon takes them down one by one with overwhelming strength, while John helps by knocking one thug aside and the last man runs away in fear. They finally get into a taxi, where John continues to sell Sonia's offer, but Leon insists he won't fight anymore. At last they reach Los Angeles, and Leon goes to the hospital looking for his brother. There he is devastated to learn that his brother died 2 days earlier, leaving his wife and daughter with bills and debt. Leon asks if the people who burned him were caught, but the doctor says his brother was involved with a drug gang, and in a city like this it's very hard to investigate. What matters now is taking care of the family he left behind. Leon leaves in pain, while John follows him and tries to talk, but Leon says he doesn't need him anymore. Later, Leon sits in a small diner and John still joins him. Leon gives him his sister-in-law's address, so John finds the place and takes him there. When Leon reaches the building, he sees a little girl playing ball, not knowing she is his niece. She points him toward her mother's apartment, and at that moment a debt collector comes out angrily after failing to get money. Leon goes inside and meets his brother's wife, but she treats him coldly. He tries to explain how much trouble he went through to get there, yet she says he came too late because his brother is dead, and orders him to leave. We then learn that Leon's brother had been caught with drugs before, and Leon took the blame so his brother wouldn't go to prison, which is how Leon ended up in the army. Even so, the wife thinks Leon should have let him go to jail, because he stayed involved with drugs and was eventually burned alive for it. Leon wants to give her money for the debt, but she refuses anything from him and threatens to call the police. Outside, John takes Leon to a bar, where Leon tells him everything and decides to send money through John so she will accept it. He also agrees to fight again, hoping to earn enough for her and his niece to live decently. That night, they get a hotel room and John lets Leon sleep, but the next morning Leon wakes up to find Sonia already there. She says she burned his old clothes because they didn't fit his new image, then takes him shopping so he can look like her private fighter. Later, Sonia and Leon talk while she explains that people in New York are still discussing his impressive win. When they return to the hotel, Sonia tries to seduce him, but Leon refuses and goes back to his own room. The next day, he quietly follows his sister-in-law as she takes her daughter to school, and when he sees her working a miserable factory job, he decides he'll fight for them no matter what. That evening, Leon goes to Sonia and accepts her matches to make money. He asks her to open a bank account under a false name without asking why, and he also wants to leave the fancy hotel for something simpler because he fights to survive, not to enjoy luxury. Sonia is annoyed but agrees, then throws him and John out of the hotel. Leon's first Los Angeles fight takes place in a garage surrounded by cars like an arena. His opponent fights dirty by jabbing Leon in the eye, then beats him hard while Leon can't see. The man nearly breaks his arm, slams him into a car window, and tries to choke him with a metal bar, but Leon survives, regains control and pounds him until John has to stop him because the opponent is already unconscious. The next day, John visits Leon's sister-in-law while pretending to be from the insurance company. He says her husband had a large policy and gives her the first check, promising that more money will come every month. She is deeply moved because her family is desperate. Meanwhile, Leon fights again on a racquetball court against a large, brutal man. The fighter chokes him and throws him into the wall again and again, but Leon recovers, uses powerful kicks to break him down, smashes the court glass, and wins another match. At the same time, the two soldiers sent by Leon's commander rent an apartment across from his sister-in-law's place and wait for him to appear. Leon disguises himself and secretly watches his niece from afar, smiling when he sees she has a new bicycle. One soldier spots him through binoculars and calls his partner, so they rush down to capture him. They chase him through the area, but Leon notices them in time and escapes. Afterward, Leon fights in an empty swimming pool against a man who knows the wet environment well. The opponent uses the water to drag Leon down and tries to drown him again and again, but Leon breaks free, lands several solid strikes and finishes him with a sharp elbow. John happily collects the money from Sonia, but she questions him about the woman who cashed the insurance check from the fake account. John explains that she's Leon's sister-in-law and that Leon only wants to help quietly, though Sonia becomes jealous and thinks he may have feelings for her. The next day, Sonia's bodyguard follows Leon while he runs. Leon goes near his niece and tries to speak to her, but the two soldiers suddenly appear. His sister-in-law rushes out and takes the girl inside. Leon explains that without him, his brother's family will have no support and nothing to eat. Yet the soldiers don't care because they only follow orders. Leon begs for one more week to earn enough money, but they refuse, so he runs and they chase him fiercely. He fights both men, but one grabs him and punches him hard in the chest, causing severe pain. Just as they nearly cuff him, Sonia's bodyguard arrives and tells Leon he should warn them when he has trouble, then takes him away before the police come. At the hospital, the doctor says Leon has broken ribs and needs a month of rest. Leon pays him to keep it quiet, especially from Sonia, who is nearby and asks if the injury is serious. She scolds Leon for hiding his family problems. claiming she would have helped if she had known. That night, Leon and John visit his sister-in-law. Leon tells her she must leave her current apartment immediately, then explains that the men who attacked him are soldiers from North Africa and that he came only to help her, but he doesn't have much time before they take him away. When the little girl asks about him, her mother finally says Leon is her uncle, and she decides to trust him. Meanwhile, Sonia watches a video of a huge vicious fighter named Attila. Her bodyguard says Attila is almost unbeatable, and he likes to toy with opponents by giving them hope before crushing them. It turns out Sonia is showing the video to the two soldiers, telling them they can't take Leon until he fights this monster because the match has already been arranged. Leon has moved his sister-in-law and niece into a safe house, buying food and supplies so they can live comfortably. John even tells her to quit the factory job and promises to find her better work, joking that he may even find her a husband. Suddenly Sonia appears, and it turns out she provided the house. She excitedly takes Leon and John to meet rich clients, saying the next fight will have so much money on the table that they can retire if Leon wins. At the meeting, the group watches Leon's fights, and Sonia shows them footage of Attila, but she cuts the tape before the part where Attila destroys his opponent. She wants them to bet on Leon while she secretly bets on Attila, telling everyone Leon will tear the monster apart. The next day, Sonia sees Leon playing with his niece and notices him holding his ribs, but she doesn't care. She is thrilled when Attila arrives in town for the big match. Leon sits with his sister-in-law and says tonight he has an important fight, and if he wins he will have enough money to move her and her daughter away from the city and start over. When night falls, everyone prepares for the match. John comes in joking to relax Leon, but he sees the pain and discovers Leon's ribs are broken. Leon asks him to withdraw all his money and bet it on him, while John warns that $12 million are on the table and Attila may kill him if he learns about the injury. Leon promises he can beat him and says afterward they'll all leave this world behind, but John warns that Sonia won't let him walk away easily. He asks Sonia who she's betting on because he suspects she is hiding something about Attila, but she insists everything is fine and tells him to place the bet. Finally, the crowd reaches the arena, where Attila appears like a real monster, huge and terrifying. When the fight begins, Attila follows his habit by letting Leon land a few hits while he absorbs them easily. Sonia's bodyguard tells her he's only playing, but Leon's kicks and punches nearly knock him down, making Attila realize Leon is more dangerous than expected. Attila stops playing and punches Leon directly in the broken ribs, immediately understanding his weakness. He attacks from every direction, knocks Leon down and keeps kicking the injured ribs to make the pain worse. Leon bleeds but still stands and keeps fighting. He lands several strong shots, yet Attila attacks his leg, headbutts him to the ground, steps on his hand, and punches his face to finish him. John begs Leon to stay down so the fight can end, but Leon remembers that all their money is on him, and he also knows Sonia betrayed him by betting the other way. Leon forces himself up in pain, and the crowd starts cheering for his courage, even the two soldiers sent to arrest him. Attila gets furious at his stubbornness, but Leon suddenly lands a hard kick to the face and drops him. Leon challenges him to get up, and when Attila continues, Leon fires back with steel-like kicks and punches that shock the entire crowd. He knocks the monster into Sonia and her bodyguard, then kicks the bodyguard as well when he tries to help Attila up. Leon keeps destroying Attila in front of everyone, and when he prepares a final blow that could kill him, Attila panics and surrenders. Sonia is left speechless because she bet against the unbreakable lion, while the two soldiers are moved by what they just witnessed. They take Leon away, but he asks to see his brother's wife and daughter one last time because he can't run forever. He asks John to take care of them, then gets into the car with the soldiers. However, the fight and Leon's loyalty have changed them. They stop the car and decide to let him go back to his family, so Leon happily runs to the only loved ones he has left, finally able to live with them and make up for the brother he couldn't save.